Hello and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Priestess Gorgêous. I'll be your oracle today, bringing you the Daily Tarot Buffet for the 2nd of March 2018, which is a Friday. I want to continue yesterday's reading just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the Archangel into the deck. And I will also shuffle in completing the karmic cycle, Saturn and Sagittarius, into the deck. This is also Sagittarius here. So we're under some karma as a collective humanity, and I want to address that just a little bit more. But again, we're going to keep an open menu. We're just going to add a little bit of flavor, so it'll be open because whatever shuffles in is what'll come out as an explanation, but we're just kind of choosing the seasoning. We're going to go a little spicy today, if you understand. So let's begin. We're going to shuffle in this 10 of Wands. So it's about making firm movements through the astral planes, understanding that there is a gate open, and we need to make some discoveries in the soul group. Oh, there we go. And then let's see here. So one thing I'm already detecting is that this apocalypse story is really kind of loud and palpable. Again, the apocalypse isn't death, dereliction, destruction. It's really just the final revelation of the truth before Judgment Day. And Judgment Day is the countdown of the clock. I said, so not before, after Judgment Day, which is the countdown of the clock. It's kind of like when time runs out. The tipping point is revelation, when the collective finally catches up to the fact that there's a renaissance or an end of the cycle. But again, Judgment Day is always the actual date that the cycle ends, and typically revelation happens multiple months or years later. Okay, so we got these energies here. And I don't need to be so biblical, so pardon me. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice card. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune was in our position yesterday. Today we have the Temperance card there. The Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Temperance, and the Hangman. So Hangman is Christ consciousness. Yeah, so there's been some steady waiting, wishing, praying, recovery, and we're stepping into some quite needed, quite necessary solutionary movement. Now, I do sense here that it's all about spiritual consciousness, really. That this alchemy needs to be having a firmer connection to our spirit and how that bears upon matter. What's on the menu today is unification, so it can be spirituality, emotions, relationships, but not so much love unless it's reunion. We're in a situation right now where we're needing some healing. This healing is completing a cycle of unification to the soul group. There's been some postponement for a while. There's been some healing. If we've been accepting cold hard truths and coming into knowledge of those truths, we'll be discovering right now that we have some type of discernment or clarity we didn't before. And we've been looking for things of a different perspective. We've been figuring out what to do. We've been strategizing, finding our will, our passion, our drives, our desires, our vision in the background. And it hasn't been a lot of movement. It's almost as if there's some type of long-term goal, a delay in the ability to reconcile something that's about to shift. So if we've been looking for unification into the soul group, and we've been doing our work in the backgrounds by allowing whatever sacrifices or surrendering we made at a previous time, a month ago about. So this would have been around the Leo moon, the eclipse that's about to show up right now, or the energy is about to come back and start manifesting if it doesn't show up. You know, the full moon was yesterday. So that 10 of Wands I shuffled in is all about, did you unify and connect to the soul? Okay. Or is there a block? The blockage would be the thing you desire the most, the thing that you're seeking the most is still withheld from you because of the lack of spiritual consciousness. If you're still conflicted, not knowing how to unify back into the soul group. So this mixing and matching, what we're mixing is okay, so I wanted to say Uranus and I got the confirmation on that. I was gonna step back and do some math, but it's Uranus. So Uranus is the spirit, and then Neptune would be the soul, the collective soul. So Uranus is everybody's individual solar plexus combined in the heavens, okay? Neptune is everybody's individual third eye combined in the heavens, okay? And the hangman is actually the energy of Uranus, Neptune, and the 12th house. Now, as zodiac-wise, in terms of archetype, blueprinting, it would be Neptune. But astrologically, which means the computer system coding in the hard drive being the world tree, we're living around the 3rd and 4th chakra of the world tree. Every country has a different chakra, however, but literally the material plane takes place in the middle world. There's truth to those things we see in the movies and those mysteries themselves. It's temperance only comes out in the middle world. When you're in the higher or lower dimension, you don't see the temperance card. You would either see the Hierophant or the Judgment card. So collectively, we are looking into a cycle where we've been conflicted for some time. We've been conflicted because at one time or another there was some type of postponement that would have happened around the eclipse. The January 31st eclipse. It would have been the January 31st eclipse. So this postponement is for the purposes of removing confliction. And if we're still going to remain conflicted, it's because we're lacking spiritual perspectives. We haven't found our arcane knowledge. That's what's inherent in us. We might even be lacking some type of awakening. I'm not really doing a lot of pranayama, kundalini conversations, but I am seeing here that if you're really wanting to reunite with the soul group and you're too busy on friction or being in your lower body or stimulating your lower self, there's a difference. I'm going to say this, excuse my language. There's a difference between ejaculation and ejaculation. One of them does add spiritual power and help build the kundalini. So if you haven't activated your shim, that's another message that I'm getting. Okay, might need to be mindful of that. Go on the journey here of figuring out what you've been recuperating from since this postponement, this surrender hangman moment where there's ultimate delays, blockages placed by the universe, sacrifices, surrenders to your heart's desires, your soul's ambitions, your aspirations, hopes, wishes, dreams. And since this postponement, what can you do now that you couldn't do then? And it should be some type of healing, some type of... It's unification of the soul group is really what it is. In order to weather this storm, in order to expedite the shadow, we need to do some inner alchemy so that we can externally unify with the soul group. If our vibe is not attracting our tribes, there's still more work to do. Ultimately, that's the message here for Friday, the 2nd of March, 2018. Again, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Please take good care of yourselves.